Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping, top-trending WWE news picks that are guaranteed to blow your mind, including: what if Damian Priest cashes in at WrestleMania XL? Cody Rhodes suffers an injury before his match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Why should Roman Reigns consider adding Jey Uso back to the Bloodline? What is Cody Rhodes' win-loss record at WrestleMania? When is The Rock leaving WWE for Hollywood again? Is The Rock going to wrestle in Saudi Arabia? Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Let's dive right into it. First, let's answer the question: what if Damian Priest cashes in at WrestleMania XL? WrestleMania XL is set to electrify Philadelphia for 2 nights next month, featuring Roman Reigns in both main events. As the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Reigns is a prime target for numerous stars on the main roster. However, one individual stands out with potential plans to seize WrestleMania glory and thwart Cody Rhodes' narrative: Damian Priest. With 2 nights at WrestleMania to cash in his Money in the Bank contract, Priest could significantly impact the event's outcome. If Rhodes and Seth Rollins triumph over The Rock and Reigns on Night 1, Priest holds the opportunity to cash in his contract. This strategic move could reshape WrestleMania Night 2, yielding several potential scenarios. Scenario 1, Damian Priest vs. Roman Reigns headlines WrestleMania Night 2. Should Damian Priest cash in his contract, he could clinch his inaugural World Championship, sidelining Cody Rhodes from the narrative entirely. Consequently, Reigns might be compelled to trigger his rematch clause the following night, positioning Priest as the main event contender alongside the Tribal Chief. Despite Rhodes' victory in the tag team match on Night 1, he would be relegated to a spectator role. Scenario 2, Cody Rhodes as Roman Reigns proceeds without the title. Despite Cody Rhodes' commendable efforts, if he secures victory in the tag team match during WrestleMania Night 1, he deserves a one-on-one encounter with Roman Reigns even without the championship at stake. WWE could opt to proceed with the scheduled match to allow Rhodes closure in his storyline. A triumph over Reigns following last year's WrestleMania disappointment would still mark a significant milestone for Rhodes, warranting his moment in the spotlight. Scenario 3, WWE is compelled to alter the main event. While canceling a WrestleMania match seems improbable, WWE is adept at adapting to unforeseen circumstances. Damian Priest's cash-in would likely be a premeditated move, prompting WWE to devise a contingency plan for Night 2. While the original main event might be altered, efforts would be made to ensure Rhodes' participation in a match, possibly against Priest for the title. Scenario 4, the WrestleMania main event evolves into a triple threat match. Cashing in on Night 1 could potentially backfire for Priest, as it might result in a triple threat showdown with Reigns and Rhodes on the subsequent night. Triple threat matches permit interference, presenting opportunities for the Judgment Day or the Bloodline to influence the outcome. Given Priest additional commitment to a tag team championship match, a Night 2 cash-in would offer him a more strategic advantage. By exploring these potential scenarios, the impact of Damian Priest's Money in the Bank cash-in at WrestleMania XL becomes evident, setting the stage for thrilling confrontations and unexpected twists in WWE's flagship event. Which Vince McMahon rule is WWE still following despite his exit? Vince McMahon's lasting impact on WWE is indelible, persisting even as he may no longer be directly involved with the organization. While Triple H has assumed a prominent role as Chief Content Officer, ushering WWE into a new era marked by compelling narratives and a formidable roster, McMahon's influence remains palpable. However, Triple H, while imprinting his own creative vision on the company, still adheres to a practice established by his father-in-law when selecting WWE Hall of Fame inductees. Historically, McMahon made a deliberate effort to ensure diversity in the Hall of Fame, consistently including at least 1 female and 1 black wrestler annually. This tradition appears to have been upheld in the class of 2024, with figures such as Paul Heyman, Muhammad Ali, the U.S. Express, Mike Rotunda, and Barry Windham. Bull Nakano and Thunderbolt Patterson announced as this year's inductees. Reflecting on McMahon's departure from WWE amidst allegations from former staff members like Janet Grant, speculation arises regarding his adjustment to life away from the company he founded, as discussed by former Raw general manager on 83 Weeks. I mean, that was his life, man. I mean, from the time he was a kid, when his dad was running the business and Vince was learning the ropes, literally putting up the rings and everything else that Vince did. That's been his life. And to be persona non grata at this point, where if he tried to walk into the office, he'd probably be escorted by security. How weird is that? It's still so hard for me to comprehend. As the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony approaches on April 5, 2024, there is anticipation regarding whether Triple H will augment the inductee list with additional names in the coming weeks. Next up, major WWE star surprisingly siding with Cody Rhodes after Seth Rollins betrays him. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T recently discussed the potential for a double betrayal at WrestleMania XL. In this scenario, Cody Rhodes would team up with World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to face off against The Rock and undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns in a monumental tag team match on Night 1 of WrestleMania. Then, on the second night, the American Nightmare would challenge the Tribal Chief for the undisputed WWE Universal title. With speculation rife among fans about a dramatic twist in the storyline, various theories abound. Some believe that the visionary Cody Rhodes might betray his tag team partner, while others entertain the possibility of the People's Champ, The Rock, turning his back on his cousin. On the Hall of Fame podcast, a fan suggested an intriguing twist, both betrayals occurring, with The Rock aligning unexpectedly with the American Nightmare. Booker T acknowledged the potential validity of this proposed scenario, indicating that such a development is within the realm of possibility. Book it. You booked it. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna, disagree with you or anything like that. It could happen. It could happen. I'm gonna wait in high anticipation to see how this thing plays out, he said. Next up, why should Roman Reigns consider adding Jey Uso back to the Bloodline? Roman Reigns is slated for double duty at WrestleMania 40, participating first in a tag team match against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and then defending his undisputed Universal title against Rhodes on night 2. Meanwhile, recent comments from Jey Uso have sparked speculation about a potential reunion with the Bloodline faction. Presently, Reigns' former right-hand man is set to face Jey Uso at this year's WrestleMania. The possibility of a long-awaited showdown between the Usos has gained traction following a recent episode of Monday Night Raw, where Jey challenged his twin for a match at the grand event. In an interview with the Battleground podcast, the Raw superstar emphasized that the Bloodline only truly exists when he is part of the faction. Additionally, main event Jey discussed the hypothetical inclusion of The Rock in the stable, asserting that the group would remain incomplete without him. The Bloodline brought the drama, brought the theatrics, brought that cinema word. I feel like your boy was the heart of the Bloodline, and they can add The Rock, they can add them all. Use. They ain't gonna be Bloodline until Jey Uso's back. That's real talk. Roman Reigns should seriously contemplate reintegrating Jey Uso into the Samoan faction, as it would not only bolster the group's strength, but also inject a compelling subplot into the ongoing Bloodline saga. Jey's burgeoning popularity as a singles competitor presents an opportunity for the Samoan stable to vie for a mid-card championship, with his potential to capture titles like the United States or Intercontinental Championship on behalf of the faction. Both Jey and the Bloodline stand to benefit significantly from such a move. Roman Reigns is set to appear on Pat McAfee's show. Ahead of the upcoming episode of WWE SmackDown, the Tribal Chief is scheduled to appear as a special guest on the Pat McAfee show on Friday. This unique event will be hosted at the Fieldhouse in Iowa. Given the timing, Roman Reigns will need to swiftly travel to the Pfizer Forum for the Blue Show on the same night. Roman Reigns' appearance on McAfee's show holds particular intrigue, especially with WrestleMania 40 looming just a few weeks away. Next up, what is Cody Rhodes' win-loss record at WrestleMania? Cody Rhodes is gearing up for a pivotal moment at WrestleMania 40, where he aims to finish his story by challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Prior to this high-stakes rematch, Cody will team up with Seth Rollins to take on Reigns and The Rock in a tag team showdown on night 1, adding significant stakes to the event. Before delving into the prospects of Cody Rhodes winning at WrestleMania 40, it's worth examining his track record at the Showcase of Immortals thus far. To date, Rhodes has competed in 10 WrestleMania events. His journey began at WrestleMania 24, where he participated in a pre-show 24-man battle royal, ultimately failing to secure victory. WrestleMania 26 saw Rhodes in a triple threat match against Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase, ending once again in defeat as Orton emerged victorious. However, WrestleMania 27 marked a turning point for the American Nightmare as he secured a win against Rey Mysterio in a singles match. This triumph was followed by a loss to Big Show at WrestleMania 28. Subsequent WrestleMania appearances at 30, 31, and 32 resulted in further losses for Rhodes. Notably, his WrestleMania losing streak was broken at WrestleMania 38 when he defeated Seth Rollins. However, at WrestleMania 39, Rhodes fell short in his bid to capture the undisputed WWE Universal Championship from Roman Reigns. With only 2 victories out of 10 WrestleMania matches, Rhodes' chances at this year's Showcase of Immortals may seem diminished. Nonetheless, his resurgence in popularity since his return complicates this analysis. Only time will reveal whether Dusty Rhodes' son can fulfill his dream and finish his story at WrestleMania XL. Next up, when is The Rock leaving WWE for Hollywood again? On night 1 of WrestleMania 40, a highly anticipated tag team showdown is set to unfold, pitting The Rock alongside Roman Reigns against the formidable duo of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. This clash not only determines the victor of the tag team match, but also carries implications for the night 2 main event, where Roman Reigns will defend his undisputed Universal title against Cody Rhodes. However, recent reports suggest that The Rock may soon depart from the Stanford-based promotion to fulfill his Hollywood commitments. These reports indicate that the most electrifying man is preparing to dive back into his film career immediately following WrestleMania. Shooting for his next project is slated to commence on May 1, 2024, with production expected to conclude by August 1, 2024. PWInsider.com has confirmed that casting is underway for a number of supporting characters in the film, which we can exclusively confirm is currently slated to film from 5 firsts through 8 firsts. That would likely take him Rock out of doing anything physical for WWE during that time period. Furthermore, the source has also confirmed that the People's Champion is unlikely to engage in any physical action during this period. This clarification suggests that even if the Great One were to make an appearance during that time frame, he would not participate in any physical altercations. With these reports emerging before WrestleMania 40, it adds intrigue to see how events will unfold at the grandest stage of them all when The Rock and Roman Reigns collide against Rollins and Rhodes. Is The Rock going to wrestle in Saudi Arabia? The Rock's recent return to professional wrestling has undoubtedly elevated the sport to new heights, and fans are eagerly anticipating his appearance at WWE WrestleMania XL. However, there's speculation regarding whether he will also compete at the upcoming Saudi Arabia show. Insight into the Great One's schedule may shed some light on this matter. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is scheduled to host a premium live event in Saudi Arabia on May 25. Additionally, a recent report from PW Insider indicates that Dwayne Johnson is slated to film his next Hollywood movie, The Smashing Machine, from May 1 to September 1, 2024. If these reports hold true, it suggests that he may refrain from engaging in any physical action inside the ring until filming concludes, thus potentially ruling out his participation in WWE's upcoming event in Saudi Arabia. In conclusion, there appears to be a high likelihood that The Rock will not wrestle at the upcoming event. However, there's still uncertainty surrounding the situation. The People's Champion could potentially make a non-wrestling appearance or perhaps take part in wrestling matches with precautions in place. And lastly, Cody Rhodes suffers an injury before his match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes is set to challenge the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns in what is being touted as the biggest rematch in WrestleMania history. However, questions loom over whether the American Nightmare will be at full strength on Night 2. Bully Ray has proposed an intriguing angle to heighten the ongoing storyline, suggesting a showdown between the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes alongside Seth Rollins. This clash would occur in a high-stakes tag team match on Night 1 of WrestleMania XL. If The Rock and Roman Reigns emerge victorious, the subsequent match between the American Nightmare and the Tribal Chief would transition into a Bloodline rules match. Conversely, a defeat for the Cousins on Night 1 would result in the Bloodline being barred from ringside for the main event of Night 2. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, Bully Ray floated the idea of The Rock and Reigns targeting Rhodes' biceps, raising concerns among fans about his condition for the following night. Knowing the stipulation and the repercussions of Night 1 leading into Night 2, I want Roman and Rock to go over Night 1. Imagine if on Night 1 in the tag match they Rock and Roman targeted Cody's torn bicep. It has been put back together, but an injury is never repaired 100%. Injuries have memory just like muscles have memory, and that injured muscle will remember that it was torn at one time. This story, other than one pretty major speed bump, has been told in a great way since day one, Ray said. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more wrestling content, and see you in the next video.